All right. So what we're going to do in the meantime while we're waiting for Van is we want to decompress a little bit and talk about what happened on Wednesday. For me, that's the first time I've ever participated in a virtual field trip. So I'm actually going to put it to Ivy's class first. Well, number one, what were your initial thoughts doing this? And number two, were there any questions that you didn't get to ask that you wanted to ask, and what were they? Okay. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Oh, well, I'm not those people myself. The experience, it was pretty nice getting to speak to those people and seeing how they felt about their jobs and whatnot. I do wish that we could talk more because it kind of felt like they were overtaking the conversation. The one lady, she talked a whole lot, so.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I feel you. You know what? We knew, Ivy and I spoke before it happened. We knew it was going to be a little tough the first time around.
Yes.
And we also know if something can go wrong, it will go wrong sometimes. But honestly, I think you did a great job. And it was a little tough because we weren't used to that format before, and I think that's why some of the questions didn't get in that we wanted to get in. And hopefully by the end of this, so by next Thursday, we'll be able to get all our questions in and it'll flow much better. So I totally agree. Any other thoughts or any other questions that you had at the time that didn't get answered? What were they?
Well, I had a question that I didn't get to say about the disabilities. Like people, like kids with disabilities, do they get accommodations like what school they want to go to? Because I know a lot of schools don't have the accommodations that they need. So do they like make that happen for them, or do they have to go to a school that has those accommodations?
Yeah, I tell you what, that's a great question because I know my son, he had several learning disabilities, very real disabilities, and it was a fight. If I didn't know what my son's rights were and what my rights were as an advocate and as a parent, I would have never been able to get the things for him that I did. So they may be there, but the parent has to be made aware of them. And what we see sometimes is the parent doesn't always know kind of what's afforded to the child. And I think that's why it would be good to have an advocate, like one of those attorneys or someone locally that could inform people. Yes.
Say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Chase.
Say that, not all like the teachers would know that they have a disability, because I just now got my IEP, feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And it's my junior year.
Yeah.
I've been in school for how many years now?
Yeah, I mean, what grade are you in now?
Junior.
Junior, so you see, it's it's just, No, not everybody here is a junior. So it's not just about having the access to things. So what Chase just brought up, he's like, listen, I just got classified now and I'm a junior. Think about that. For some children, what we see is that they go through the process and get classified very, very late in the process. So it really would be nice to have from a very young age someone advocating for them. Other questions? Yeah, I see you, Diane.
Okay, well, I felt like although they were speaking a lot, they did inform me on a lot of stuff that I didn't know, because I didn't know that Title IX didn't only, like, stand for, like, women, but it's also men, too, and also pregnant women and stuff like that I didn't know that they informed me on. So I feel like they were speaking a lot, but it all made sense, and it all was educational and informing to me.
Got you. Other questions? No? All right, so what I wanted to think about, any questions from my side? No? What I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about is, what can we do? I was thinking of, because we have a regular class without Destination Diversity on Monday. Do you have class on Monday?
Yes, we do have class on Monday, but our class is, like right now, my kids are on school business just to be here.
Yeah.
That's why you're
Gotcha.
hearing the bell. We're on a temporary schedule, but on Monday, this is our schedule. So right now, we're at lunch, and that's why you're hearing
man, wow.
So, yeah, we early release on Monday, so our kids leave early, so they're only in classes for 40 minutes instead of 50 minutes.
Okay, got you. So what I was thinking was, is I was trying to brainstorm for the next upcoming days in terms of Twitter, in terms of getting as much activity as possible. Do any students have any suggestions on what we can do to get more activity on Twitter? Like what we were able to do is we got it disabled for this period. So you'll see they have a couple Chromebooks out so that they can tweet live. But what can we do to kind of ensure that more people are tweeting throughout this process? It doesn't even have to be while it's happening.
That's a great question.
Yeah, go ahead.
We could do like shout outs, like just shout our page out, you know, tell other kids what's going on in the class and like keep them informed.
Got you. I think that's a great idea. And I think that we should all hold ourselves accountable to do that. The more tweets, the more recognition we get for what we're doing. So that's one great idea. Other ideas?
I have one. I have a question actually, Mr. Bill.
Yes.
My question, does everyone in your class, did they create or sign up for Twitter?
What I did initially, that's what I started doing to get a new screen name for everybody. I don't even know if I'm using the proper terminology. But then what I did is I created a class. I think you saw it too because I think you hashtagged us. I created an account just for our class.
Okay.
So that what people can do is after they leave today, I'm going to give them the password and all the information to get on and be able to do that.
Okay.
So what I thought it could make it easy is that everybody has the same password. They can log on right to the class Twitter account. That one that you see with the hands going around the world, I threw that together so that we all had something that we could log into. If that makes
Students aren't using their own individual created ones.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I think that students, if they have their own, use their own. That's fine.
Okay.
But I just thought for the purpose of class, if I have the Chromebooks out, why not have one where we could be doing that live? But kids could be having their phones out on their own Twitter account if they're connected to Destination Diversity, and they can do it like that.
Okay.
Is that all right? Okay. Yeah. So I just want to announce that to my class. Every time there's a class with me between now and Thursday, Twitter will be accessible in the school. Okay? All right? Yes. I don't know. I got to see about Facebook. I'm so unaware of a lot of this stuff. I don't even have a Facebook page.
Twitter's good. Facebook, no.
No? Okay.
But pretty much, Twitter gonna become
I don't know. I mean, if we want more teen attention, I would say Snapchat.
Snapchat? All right, well, maybe that's something that we could suggest next time, okay?
What else we got?
All right, so... Okay, so one thing I did want to bring up is that when we spoke to the attorneys, I found it interesting. One way we could branch out is when we started to talk about standardized testing, they said that they could connect us with individuals who are more knowledgeable on the subject.
Yes.
I think that what happens is not that often do the adults that make the decisions, do they hear from you about how standardized testing affects you. And I'm wondering if one thing we can get out of this is we can get in contact with these people and say, hey, listen, this is what we have to say. We're here in the trenches. We either administer them or take them, and this is what's going on. So I think that might be one of the angles that we could take.
Great. And then,
Right.
and then I have a question also, Mr. Gill. Our class, I'm just going to throw it out there. I think our students also struggle or were concerned with how to prepare for our meeting with the third parties. A lot of the students expressed that we're used to dialoguing with you all, but as you mentioned earlier, when we had to add in other elements and other people, it was kind of like behind the scenes, what are we doing? How are we preparing? How are we planning? What do I need to read or know? So I think it's, as we move forward, also maybe just being able to provide students with a more clear, concrete of what they should maybe study, know, and bring to the table.
Okay, you know what? How about we do that now? What I did is, hopefully you can see this. Give me just a second. I'll try and work this out so that you can see it.
Okay.
All right. Hold on, that's really small.
You have to press share again.
Okay. Yay! Hooray for Gil. All right, what I thought maybe we could do is let me get a text box in. And maybe what we can do is kind of brainstorm ways that we can make this more streamlined with the questions.
Yes.
All right, I'll make it smaller. You know I don't know what I'm doing. Huh? Okay, actually, I'm going to back off because I'm getting yelled at right now. There you go, Nick. Take over. I know when I'm out of my league. All right. There we go. All right. So, and I give everybody a lot of credit today because we definitely are improvising. So bear with me, all right?
Yeah. Everybody see this?
Yeah.
All right. We're about to put Nick on the payroll. I should just step aside. Okay. So, in terms of the questioning and answering, what could we do to make it? I think what Van's looking for too is for those questions to be shot out. He wants to see the hands up, people ready to go, so that I think the speakers feel like what they're doing is more worthwhile. You know. So, how can we ensure that happens?
What happened?
All right. Yeah. Go ahead, Jihad.
But I think it goes back to like it kind of we didn't know the structure of it, so if like peers would stop speaking, I feel like it'll open up the floor for us to talk because we don't like to just raise our hand while somebody's talking because that's kind of rude. So it's like once they stop talking, then it'll feel open for us to start asking our questions.
Okay, so are you implying that we should be able to ask questions throughout? Is that what you're saying, that they should stop periodically?
Yeah, because it's like they talk, and then we only got the time to ask questions. Like, once they made a video, it was like 12 minutes. Then we start asking questions.
Got you. So periodic presenters.
So like right when they stop talking, we could just shoot out our questions.
Yes, got you. All right, we're gonna jump over to Chase, and then we'll jump back on.
And like I feel like they need to sum up what they were saying because they was talking for like hours long. Like,
Well, they are attorneys. I wasn't surprised by that. They're gonna have a lot to say, but so summarize. All right, and we got to think about what we're gonna do too, because we can't get to them to tell. We don't know who's doing what at the time. But
Short and sweet. What about short and understanding or something?
It's like same.
okay, so concise. And I'm gonna relay some of this stuff to Ben. Okay. All right, I saw some other cards up. It's because you're so small. So maybe if somebody could help me out. Was there another card up, or am I just blind? All right.
Alex and Zion.
Yeah, go ahead on your side.
One of you, Alex or Zion.
what?
Go ahead, Alex.
Hello?
Yes. All right, hold on just a second, Van.
I thought I was going to answer first.
Van, are you there?
I'm here. Can you see me?
No.
No?
No.
Can you see me?
No.
No?
Oh,
Can
we
you see me now?
Yes, we can.
No.
Hey,
No more. You gone.
Gentlemen.
how you guys doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Van.
Hello?
The video cuts in and out.
Is he trying to do it on his phone?
I don't know.
I think he is. Text him, Gil. Can you take a map?
They know. I mean, Tom's gonna
Can I use that iPad?
Huh? Like, not right now, man.
Never.
Oh. Well, can you, where, can you hear me now? Hello?
Hey, Van, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
We can't hear you, Van. I mean, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Can you guys hear me?
Hello.
He knows. I'm gonna go.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
can? We can't see you.
You can't hear me?
We can't see you.
Well, as rough as I look, that's not such a bad thing.
Okay.
You can see me or you can't see me?
Let me.
Well-
all right, here's the deal, Van. We can't see
Can
you,
you
but we can hear you on and off.
hear me?
You cut in and out, to be honest with you.
Can you hear me? Hear me?
Van, it's real choppy.
Oh, I heard that. Oh, can you hear me now?
It's still choppy, Van. You're coming in and out.
It's real choppy.
Yeah.
Oh, we can see you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, still choppy. And
Still choppy?
We saw your face for a second, then you cut out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Still
can.
choppy?
No, you're good
Oh,
now. We
can
just
you
can't
see?
see you.
All right. Well, listen, I'm not going to press my luck. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, listen, I'm in the parking lot of a Target in Alexander, Virginia. And you can hear there's a fire truck going by, right? It's not a police car. I'm not being arrested or nothing. We had some complications, as you all heard. Well, let me back up a bit. You know, I was really proud of you all. We did a good job on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I thought that really went well. Nobody's ever done anything like that before. You guys are like pioneers, and you should be very proud of that. Keep on tweeting. But I went to a school yesterday. I don't know if y'all heard about this, in D.C., called McKinley Technology High School. And we had a conversation about the use of technology, including a conversation about Snapchat. And they suggested they knew that I was using Facebook and we were using Twitter. But they said, well, why aren't you using Snapchat? And I don't know much about Snapchat, so I signed on. Listen, my name, my Snapchat, I've never used before, is diversity. It's a new experience for me. In my this, I have to have some kind of something. Tell me how Snapchat works.
Van, you're cutting out again. Can you hear me okay, Van? We hear you on and off. We're glad that you brought up Snapchat, because that's something the kids brainstormed also. Intermittently, Van. It's getting choppy again. We did hear you talk about Snapchat.
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me now?
A little bit.
The point here is that technology, if you can hear me, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, sir.
Okay, all right. We were talking about Snapchat, and the point is that technology, as you all have experienced, can be used for something very good or something very bad. And I was asking them, how do they use Snapchat? And one young person out of McKinley High School said, you know, when we use social media, most of the time it's used, I don't know if you all would disagree with it, it's used to talk about people's weaknesses. And I was just saying, in the context of what we were doing, what you guys started, we're using technology in a very positive way. Cisco's equipment, even your phones, you have the opportunity to do something very positive and very proactive. And when the bus gets back to Rochester, you'll see we've got some new poster art up there, and you will see how young people, long before Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, were doing very positive things, and I would encourage you all to do that. But I want to talk about the rest of our trip. It's not over. You may have heard the bus broke down, the truck driver, the flatbed that it's supposed to go on to get it to Greensboro, that guy he totally flaked out, got nervous. And check this out. I was calling him repeatedly on his cell phone and texted him, and he wasn't answering. He left us. He left me here in this parking lot in Alexander, Virginia. So, but that's okay. You know, any good journey we're taking, you have some detours. I know you guys in your life have probably had a detour too. This was just a minor detour. I'm telling people on my Facebook page, just because you get detoured doesn't mean you have to get derailed. So, just to finish up, I am on my way to Greensboro. We're still going to go there. You guys will be home by the time I get there. And then I'm going to hook up with you guys in Atlanta at the King Center. And most importantly, we're going to make our way, I am determined to do it, to Hillsborough. And those students are going to get on the bus just like you had gotten on the bus with them. And you're going to hear from a local civil rights leader in Hillsborough. So I thank you all for being patient. I apologize we didn't make it to Greensboro. But again, just because you get detoured doesn't mean you get derailed. Go to the Facebook page and we talk about, you'll see some of the stuff that's happening that I can't get into now. All right?
Okay,
You
Van,
guys good?
thank you. We're sorry for everything
All
we had
right.
to go through.
Yeah, I'll talk to you in Atlanta. All right?
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
See you later.
All right, bye.
Go ahead, unmute. I said we're live.
Can you hear me now? You guys can hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like what we had talked about, other students had talked about possibly setting up a Snapchat account and using that. I have no idea how to use that, but I'm sure that some of you could teach me. And Ariel could teach me how to use Snapchat, because I have no idea. Oh, Van's cutting in again. Van, you still there?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, okay. Are you staying on?
What's up? Well, yeah, as long as the technology will allow me to, yeah, I'm going to just listen.
Okay. All right. So what we've been trying to, Van, what we've been trying to do is trying to brainstorm ways to get more student involvement when someone's speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And because, everybody's got questions, but the format changes when we involve a third party. So one thing we thought about was the kids actually like to talk periodically throughout the presentation. They were wondering if it's possible. So first of all, I guess what we need to know is on Tuesday, what's the format going to look like on Tuesday? Because if we know ahead of time kind of what's going to happen then, we can kind of figure out how we're going to formulate our questions.
Well, Tuesday, it's at the King Center. I don't know if you're all familiar with that, but that's Dr. King and his family's effort to keep his legacy alive. And a curator, the museum director, will get on the bus, tell you about the mission of the King Center, what they're about, what they're trying to accomplish, and then we'll take questions from you all. That's the format.
Okay. All right. So
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just trying to think of what kind of, maybe we can kind of brainstorm right now, Van, some of the questions that we're looking for in terms of when the kids talk to the curator. One of
the things I could tell you that you might want to ask them, and it's a straightforward question, and it's keeping it real. Coretta Scott King died, I think a year or two ago. You guys could research that. And the family, the patriarch and the matriarch of the family are gone. You could ask them, how are they keeping Dr. King's dream alive? Okay. What does the center do to help people with civil rights? All those questions that you guys have about young people being arrested and suspended from schools, ask the curator, okay, this is your mission. How are you making it happen? How are you keeping King's dream alive? Ask them that. I don't even have the answer for it. I don't know what they're going to tell you.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that's one thing we're going to look into. I think what we're going to do is we'll have a little bit of time today. Maybe what we can do is actually look the center up with both classes.
Sure.
And kind of think of some of the questions that we want to ask.
That makes sense.
Okay. All right. So Ivy's class, are you okay with doing that?
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do in a minute, Van, I don't know how this is going to work. You'll still be able to hear us, I think. I think what we'll do is we'll bring up the website and kind of look at the contents and try and formulate some questions so that Ivy's class can see it at the same time as mine. All right?
Okay.
All right. There's going to be a little silence for a second.
Okay.
All right, so I need everybody to quiet down. Here's what we have now. We have about the King Center. Maybe, could you read a little bit of that, Nick? Would that be okay? So Nick's going to read a little bit about the King Center so we can think of the type of questions we want to ask, okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so established in 1968 by Miss Coretta Scott King, the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change, aka the King Center, has been a global destination, resource center, and community institution for over a quarter century. Nearly 1 million people each year make pilgrimage to the National Historic Site to learn, be inspired, and pay their respects to Dr. King's legacy. Both a traditional memorial and programmatic nonprofit, the King Center was envisioned by its founder to be no dead monument, but a living memorial filled with all the vitality that was his, a center of human endeavor committed to the causes for which he lived and died. That vision carried out through educational and community programs until Mrs. King's retirement in the mid-1990s, and today it's being revitalized. Keep going.
So I think one of the questions, I mean, straightforward, the first thing I heard is, so what is King's legacy? If we could get them to talk a little bit about that, I think that would be a great question for one of the kids to ask. Second, it said before she died. So another question, and Van, you can't see it, but we're jotting down these questions too.
No, I can see it. I can see it.
Oh, you can see it? Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah. What is King's legacy?
Yeah. So before she died, it said that they had like educational programs there, correct?
Yep.
So I want, maybe asking them, what did those programs look like? What were they? And who were the students that were part of those programs?
Hey, listen, you all may remember I'm on the Board of Education. I would love for somebody to ask for me, is there any programs, okay, maybe they educate the kids in Atlanta, but what about the kids the students throughout the rest of the United States? Are there programs and lesson plans and curriculum that they can share with students in other states, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I didn't even think about that one. Okay, we're going to have Nick continue reading.
Okay. As we move into the second decade of the 21st century, the King Center is embarking on a major transformation into a more energetically engaged educational and social change institution. Supported by our board of directors and an infusion of new thinking, the King Center is dedicated to ensuring that the King legacy not only remains relevant and viable, but is effectively leveraged for positive social impact.
Okay, let's stop there for a second. I think one great question would be, because they brought it up, is so how does the King Center bring about social change? Ivy's class, can you hear us?
Yes, so unmute us.
Do you have any questions you can think of after what we've talked about? Yeah, go ahead.
She wants to add a question.
ahead.
How is the legacy being protected or prolonged? Like, how is it being lasted through all the years?
That's a great question.
It is.
Other questions you have? It's going to be really hard to see you, so you can just rattle them off.
Go ahead.
How is being an advocate for civil rights issues now? Like, are they giving Flint water because they still don't have water? Are they doing other things in the community all around the country, not just in Atlanta?
Okay, so I think your question is are they advocating for civil rights on a national level?
Yes, sir.
Right. Hey, and let me just put this in the back of your minds. You wouldn't want to ask this question because it might be kind of cold and mean, but in the back of your mind, I want you all to think about this. And again, be polite and respectful. But are we going to go beyond the marches, the anniversary marches, and start really doing things that practically affect people's lives? I mean, much of King's legacy in people's minds today is caught up in the march, right? And you'll find Al Sharpton and people just marching at the drop of a hat. What are they doing? Now, again, you wouldn't want to say that to them, but be critical thinkers, and don't let somebody just say, oh, well, you know, we march. Ask them, and say it in a polite way, beyond the marching and the celebrating of the anniversary, what are we doing to help reduce violence, police brutality? What is the King Center doing to stop children from being suspended from school just because they're African American? Right? So again, I know your teachers want this of you. Be critical thinkers. Do not just accept a patent answer. Well, you know, and I don't know the people in the King Center, but people will do this. Your teachers will tell you this. People will give you answers that people talk about Donald Trump and how he gives answers, right? People have been doing what Donald Trump has been doing for years. Blanket answers that sound good to some people. Make sure if they give you an answer that there's maybe a polite but respectful follow-up question, because you really want real answers.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Van.
Your faces with the black.
Yeah, you know, Van, what I find interesting is it's weird how things work out. I know what you just went through was really tough. I know you're in a parking lot. If this wouldn't have happened, if you wouldn't have been stranded, we wouldn't be doing this right now. So things work in mysterious ways sometimes.
Yep. Amen.
And you got to love the beauty of technology, that you're in a parking lot and we're sitting here having a lesson, you know?
Yep, absolutely.
That's great. Okay. All right, so why don't we go back? Well, Ivy, does your class have any more questions so far?
All right, any other questions that you guys want to ask right now? Okay. Okay,
All right.
not right now, we don't.
Okay, so we'll go back to reading.
In short, the King Center is repositioning to meet the challenges and opportunities of today. Squarely focused on serving as both a local and global resource, the King Center is dedicated to educating the world on the life, legacy, and teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., inspiring new generations to carry forward his unfinished work, strengthen causes, and empower change makers who are continuing his efforts today. Plans include a state-of-the-art renovation to the King Center's Atlanta campus, the preservation and digitization of our one-of-a-kind archives, the launch of an innovative digital strategy, and the conference series to bring the King legacy to a modern audience, and the development of new programs and partnerships that further Dr. King's work in sustainable, measurable ways worldwide.
Okay. I have another one. So they spoke about on a global level, so what type of civil rights issues is the King Center focused on a global level?
Just say what you want to ask, because they can't see.
So go ahead if you have some other questions.
Nick, do you mind going back to the article itself or the website?
Yeah, no, we can go right back. That's fine.
All right. It says, I didn't see the picture. It says, squarely focused on serving as both local and global resource. The King Center is dedicated to educating the world on the life, legacy, and teachings of Dr. Martin. My question is there any other civil rights activists or any person that they're doing teachings other than Martin Luther King, as in locally in your town, within each state, because every state has a different person, or nationally, which is generally Martin Luther King stuff that we talk about, but what about every other state? What about every state that had somebody local or somebody that went a little above and beyond that?
That's an outstanding question. I didn't even think of that one.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, other questions? No? Okay, we'll continue reading a little bit more, and then Van, what we're going to do is we're going to stop just a little bit early, because what we're going to do is we're going to formulate these into questions. I'm going to share them with everybody so that we have it readily available to kind of think about over the weekend, okay?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, go ahead, Nick.
That's about all that was there.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else. What about the use of documents? Did you? Oh, never mind. All right, I'm going to look and see what else they have on here.
I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you go back to the article, please?
Yes, all right.
So, you go a little bit further down.
Thinking of what?
All right, it said, after it went ahead and it said, they're innovative digital strategy conference series to bring the King legacy to a modern audience and the development of new programs. So what do they mean by modern audience? Like, I know they mean like our generation and whatnot, but what specifically, like what ideas do they have to throw out? Because if they do it certain, like, do they think it will work one way or do they think it will work a different way?
So you're just asking to further explain how they meet the needs of a modern audience, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Van, do you know, while we're typing, can we view the exhibits online, or is that something you have to be there to do?
Sure. I'm not sure. I haven't been to the site lately. As a matter of fact, it's funny you asked that question. I was wondering, and I don't have the answer to this, whether I would be able to go in advance. Take some. Most museums don't allow them, but I'm there early, and if I have an opportunity to, I will come give them to you so you all see them. You know, we think of Dr. King's big, huge giant was a small guy, and notice they have this clothes display. He was tiny. I mean, he was a very slender, at least from shoulders, very small guy. Shoes, very small feet. You shock because we always see on the Washington, Lincoln Memorial. You think he's this big, huge, staturing guy. Very, very, very small guy. But I'll try some if I can, so that you guys see stuff in there.
Okay, we really appreciate that, Van. I think what we're going to do now, we got about 10 minutes left. I'll work together with Ivy's class, and we'll come up with these questions, try and generate a couple more. We pretty much read everything we could from the website, and so that everybody has this, and we'll be ready to go on Tuesday. And I'm thinking this is going to be really productive, and we really appreciate all your help, Van.
All right, well, listen, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Come hell or high water, we're going to make it to Atlanta.
All right. Thank you for all your work.
I'll see you later.
All right, God bless. Take care.
All right. We'll see you.
Bye. All right. Okay. All right, everybody. So I got it. Oh, no. I got to tell you what. Considering everything that's gone on, you did a great job. To Ivy's class, thank you so much. To my class, really appreciate it. I'm hoping this will help now. And I'm hoping we can get some more questions in. I see some papers up. It's just hard to see you, so go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so I have Caitlin and then Joe wanted to add one as well. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so, like, I understand, like, we have in schools or in education, we have Black History Month, which is February, but what is civil rights education going beyond as far as schools? Like, I understand we have February to learn about Black history, but that's mainly it. Like, that's all we learn about. That's the only month. And there's more. There's so much more than just February. Like, there's a lot of months to learn about what has gone on because so much has happened in the civil rights era.
So, I mean, to be politically correct when we ask, you're just asking what we're going to do beyond the norm.
Yes, and when Caitlin spoke with me briefly, just on a sidebar, she was saying a question that we might be able to present was to that museum that we'll be visiting with. Is there anything that they're doing currently with education to ensure that it is not just being taught in the month of February, but it's expanding beyond that?
Got you. And I think one of the things that can happen too is you know, to keep it real with you, if we were just talking between the classes, what you're really asking is, are we just going to go through the motions and do what everybody does in other schools? Or are we going to get down to the heart of some of the issues that we talk about together? So I definitely agree with what you're saying. Other questions? Yeah, go ahead. I see you.
I have two questions.
Yes.
What difficulties have you faced in trying to keep Dr. King's dream alive? And what is being done to bring awareness or change about the black violence going on today?
Could you repeat that again, please? It's hard to hear you. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Okay, here we go. Pull it back.
I can't stop. His big fat ass. It's not. Because it's not.
Sorry. Okay, do you want me to ask the question?
Yeah, could you ask say the question again?
Okay, so she's written this down. It says, what is being done to bring awareness or change about the black violence that's going on today? So in other words, specifically to this, to the museum, the curator, what are they doing, whether locally or beyond the local area, to bring that awareness or change to address some of the violence we see today? Are they bringing awareness? Do they have exhibits? I mean, are they, what are they doing? And I assume that's
It's not going no more.
All right, we got it.
It don't go no more.
Where is it?
It's not going back.
Okay, it's okay. And then we have one more in the front, which was Alex.
One more? Okay, no problem.
Okay. Go ahead, Alex.
In regards to the general of what we're speaking of, rather than going back to what I said about the audience, like us, our generation, as far as our generation goes, people our age haven't experienced anything that our parents experienced or our grandparents experienced. So it's a question more on us, like how do we see it as one general group and one generation as us, and the way people think, as in the way we're at school and then the rates of suspension between everything in general.
You cut out a little bit, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I heard bits and pieces. Are you asking, how do we change the minds of individuals that make decisions? Or did I completely miss what you said? Why don't you say it again? How about that?
Okay. So the people like my parents or my grandparents, they had different experience growing up here than I have. Personally, I haven't dealt with the same thing that they have, or none of us in this classroom have dealt with the same thing our parents have. Our parents have dealt with things a lot worse. Why? And things are changing. Things have changed a lot from I would say 20 years, 30 years. Things change. There's still negatives going on, and if people don't think that there's still a lot of negatives going on, then they're not looking at all. But how do we deal with that? How do we address it as a group?
Okay, so how do we address change as a group? All right, got you. Okay, we're kind of running out of time here, and I got a couple things I got to do with them. This would probably be a good time to stop. I think this is proof, Ivy, that no matter what comes our way, we find a way to make things happen. So I want to thank everyone. I think you're all great. I really appreciate everyone.
That was
I really do. You know I do, too. You're incredible. I wish we could be there with you experiencing this, but you know how it works. We'll take a week. Thanks again. And here's what I'm going to do. I'll put this all together. I'll give the questions out to Ivy so that we can prepare a little bit, so that we can really put on a show, so that on Tuesday people really know who we are as schools. Okay.
All right, sounds wonderful, and thank you. We feel the same about you all.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right, bye everybody. Take care.